Hello, my name is Frankie Francis. I'm the Finance Council Chairperson, and I'm here today to give you an update on the financial position of St. William the Abbot. We have just hit the one-year anniversary of the closing of the church due to the pandemic. This was a defining moment for St. William the Abbot. We had just completed the installation of our new HVAC system, which cost $150,000. We made the decision to pay for this system with cash instead of financing the equipment because we knew that all the major repairs had recently been made. We felt we would be in the clear for a while. Well, that all changed when the news came that the church would have to close due to the pandemic. As the Finance Council Chairperson, I immediately started to think about how were we going to survive without our primary source of funds, our weekly collections. The pews went empty for the next 3 months, and the collection baskets sat still in the closet. Our revenues dropped by almost 50%, while many of our expenses remained the same. How would we survive? Well, luckily, our parish families remained loyal to St. William the Abbot. And when the church reopened in June, we saw great stewardship, with people giving their time, their talent, and their treasures. Parishioners stepped forward as ushers during each Mass to help maintain proper social distancing. Others volunteer at the end of Mass to help clean the church in order to keep us all healthy. And so many have continued to support the parish financially by sending in their weekly contributions or using WeShare, even if they're unable to attend Mass in person. This commitment has helped us through this very challenging time, as we have recently maintained almost 80% of our weekly collections. So for the year ended June 30th, 2020, I prepared a handout that's on the website, and this handout shows the sources of funds as well as where the money is being spent. It's the same handout I prepare every year, and if you have any questions, please feel free to email me, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So as an overview, during the year ended June 30th, 2020, our collections were down by almost $28,000, primarily due to the shutdown that occurred between March and June. Our overall revenues were down by almost $70,000, which were also related to the shutdown. With regards to our expenditures, we were able to maintain or even reduce many of our common expenses during the last fiscal year. However, the major expenditure on the HVAC system resulted in an overall increase in cash outflows of almost $90,000. When you combine the decrease in revenues with the increase in expenses, we were left with a deficit of $135,000. The deficit, however, was offset using reserves that we have maintained over the years for unusual or extraordinary situations like the one we're in right now. So our financial results certainly could have been better. But let me tell you about all the good things that have happened in the last fiscal year and all that we've done to maintain and enhance our parish. Firstly, we've once again paid all of our diocesan assessments and exceeded our bishop's annual appeal. We are now one of very few parishes that have been able to stay current with these assessments while providing support to the diocese through the annual appeal. This validates our financial stability during a time when many parishes are still being evaluated. We've also made some major repairs and enhancements to the parish over the past year. The replacement of the HVAC system was certainly the most significant and will mitigate many of the previous costs of repairs that we have seen, which were consistently over $10,000 a year, and one year as high as $32,000. We anticipate this new system will pay for itself in the next 7 years with the elimination of these costly repairs and the reduction in energy costs that occurred with the old system. We built an office for our preschool staff. We renovated the bathrooms. We replaced the older sheds with one new large shed that matches our church. And we also upgraded our audio system in the church and the social hall. These are all items that were planned and approved by the Finance Council based on the need and the financial ability to make the improvements. So 2019-2020 was a year filled with progress and accomplishments, but one that ended with some concerns about the future. So let's discuss the past 12 months, this pandemic year that we just went through. During these months, we experienced a decrease in our collections of almost 20%. This could be considered a major cause of concern, or we could look at this as we were able to maintain 80% of our collections during this very challenging time. I prefer to look at it as reassuring that our parishioners are committed to our parish, even when many are supporting from their homes. Over the past 12 months, we worked hard to evaluate and decrease costs. By doing so, we've been able to achieve almost the same 20% decrease in total expenditures, with the exception of our snow removal. The overall results from the past 12 months was a deficit of $85,000, primarily due to the final payments for the HVAC system. So to offset some of the deficit created during the pandemic, we applied for and received both the first and second round of the Payroll Protection Program. This funding certainly helped to ease some of the financial stress created by the shutdown. So what does all this mean for our parish now and as we move into the future? It means our parish family has been generous, and almost everyone has continued to support St. William the Abbot. It means that you will have a parish to come back to when the doors are fully open again, a parish that has been properly maintained and cared for even during our most critical time. For all this support, Father Tom has been most grateful. He always tells me how proud he is of his parish and the way we respond. But there is still more work to do. There are additional capital expenditures that are scheduled to be made in the future. The parking lot is in need of repairs and needs to be recoated. The social hall is also needing some repairs and some upgrades. These are items that will be planned as funds become available. As we continue to operate during the pandemic, we need your support. As noted on the financial result presentation, almost 80% of all revenue comes from our parishioners through the weekly collection. And even though we've been able to survive on 80% of that collection, we are hoping to return to 100% as soon as possible. So if you're not comfortable attending Mass in person at this point, please consider dropping off your envelope in the mailbox near the entrance to the church. Alternatively, you could use our online giving program called WeShare. A letter from Deacon Mike is on the website regarding the importance of your weekly support of the church and the convenience of using WeShare. Many parishioners already use it and say it's very convenient. So please read this letter and consider utilizing this great way to support St. William the Abbot throughout the year, even if you can't be present. So on behalf of Father Tom and the entire Finance Council, I thank you for your commitment to the parish. It is only because of your continued stewardship that we will be able to welcome you back to your place of worship when the pandemic is over. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.